I'm assuming
That leaves
we'll
you
go.
open to.
Okay, we'll start tonight's meeting with flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, in liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all.
And there's nobody signed up, so. Okay, good.
May I request a moment of silence?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Roll call.
Mr. Bender?
Here.
Mrs. Hoover?
Here.
Mr. Crew?
Here.
Mrs. Crew?
Here.
Mrs. Lee?
Here.
Mr. Rocco? Mr. Basil? Mr. Westrick?
Here.
Ms. Zenshaw?
Here.
Okay, guys, you have the short and sweet agenda before you. Item A, dust collection system. Be resolved, the Board of Education discuss and approve the purchase of a refurbished Niederman dust collector exhaust system in the amount of $22,500 for Hermes and West Williamsport with the EIV valve included.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Jen Zenshaw. Second by Ms. Daniel Hoover. Questions or comments?
Is this sufficient for the room, the size of the room?
Yes, both these requests came out of the construction team meeting that was held on the 14th of April. And I did have a chance to speak to both Jeff and Dave Whitmer subsequent to that meeting, because I felt like there really wasn't enough information, or I didn't feel like I had enough information. That was one of the questions I asked about the one that's there now versus the one that's at the high school versus the one they want. All three of the units that are being quoted here are like 3,700 cubic feet per minute. The one that's there now is not, they're not that robust. I don't know what they are, but they're not that robust, and there's a great deal of uncertainty about whether either one of them work or work properly or are serviceable. I don't know that we've had an engineer look at it, but our own personnel are telling us that it's not functioning. So that was the reason that it was decided that a new unit was needed. But looking at the expense, Mr. Wenderoth did some research and found the used unit that would meet that 3,700 or 3,600 cubic feet per minute standard. And that is why the request was put forward. They wanted to know as soon as possible, because they would need to know, are they gonna have to take the old one out and have it dismantled? There's also a difference. The unit that's in there now has the vent work goes through the floor and comes up on the surface. The one that's being looked at would not. It would be overhead. So I think there was some concern from Site Logic that they wanted to know as soon as possible, in case they would need to know whether they're going to have to cover up those ductworks in the floor or whether they're going to have to leave them out. When I talked to them again today, he said, look, if you can't make a decision tonight, or if you don't make a decision tonight, we're not going to touch anything. We're just going to let it go, and then you can deal with it whenever. I mean, I think that introduces an additional time delay and probably some additional expense, but that would be the worst out of it.
So then follow up to that, you said they're unsure on what, if the unit at the high school will work.
Yeah.
Are we able to, I mean, it's.
It's a perfectly good question. I don't have an answer for you. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
okay.
That would seem like that would be the appropriate question to ask.
The one up at the high school is working right now. I was up there, it was running. It is noisy. Apparently, there were parts that were replaced in it, and the parts that were put in were the incorrect pieces. So everybody complains because it sounds like a locomotive coming through. And so that was one of the reasons that they did not want to move that one down here. The one that is down here has not been run since I don't know when. So does it work? I don't know. Nobody seems to know.
Yeah.
That's all I know about it.
As I said, same thing, several years since that one's been run.
Why has it not been running?
They haven't needed it.
Hasn't been part of the program for a couple of years. I think it was a Mr. Link that was there, was the last one, and
So
I
it
don't know
was,
when he left, but it hasn't
2010?
been used since then.
I don't know when Mr. Link left, but even when he was here, I don't think that they did a lot of that type of work. They were more into the TSA and that
Sure.
sort of stuff. So
Okay.
I understand too that we have a lot of equipment up at the high school that was donated and it's sitting there, I don't think some of it's never been hooked up, don't know if it runs, and it's just sitting there, so I don't know what's there.
I mean, the equipment I looked at up there, because I was wondering why we even needed this system, he does have a number of CNC routers, which do definitely have some dust collection needs. He has a CNC lathe, maybe one or more. I think he has a fabricator. Those things all do generate significant dust, so we have to plan this to continue, and that seems to be what he's saying, that is a part of my program that I need to take with me to the new school. Then, if that be the case, then you wouldn't need some kind of collector system, otherwise it would be really unhealthy, dusty inside the room without it.
So I guess two things, I was told on different occasions that the existing machinery that we have is not adequate, like it doesn't move enough dust. I don't know, and I certainly don't know if I couldn't never prove that to be true or untrue, I don't know that, but that was one of the concerns. And then the other concern was that if we don't purchase this system in a timely fashion, then they will leave us without any openings in the wall to install it, or whatever we decide to bring down. And so that would mean that whatever part of the curriculum includes the dust collection machine would not be able to happen when school starts or whenever that happens. So that would, just
And we would have to
stating
do
this.
that work ourselves, you're right, we'd have to do that work ourselves.
Correct, because this price is for the machine alone, and then there would be an additional cost to do the work in the wall and have it installed and pour a pad outside for it to sit on.
Was this work part of the original construction plan?
No, because the plans for the tech room they're coming in right now. As we have seen the tech room requirements, that's when they were brought in. So there was a delay in getting those in for us.
So, we're paying extra for installation anyway.
Yeah,
At this
yes,
point, yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it wasn't part of the contract.
Well, that's what I'm asking, so.
Yes,
This system wasn't part of the construction plan,
correct,
and the installation was not either.
No,
So we're paying no matter what,
right.
right.
okay.
And
Anybody else?
I think, it was the other urgency was just, this is this unit is previously used, and it's not gonna probably be available if we wait much longer
Right.
at this price.
Yeah.
And it is
Do
significant.
we have any idea how much it's gonna cost to have it shipped?
I don't know, sir.
Let's see,
Unless they're planning on going to get it.
FOB
Because
stands
it's
for North
Williamsport.
Carolina.
It's only Williamsport.
On the,
Yeah,
That's the new one, I think you're reading.
No, this is the one for 22,500.
on the top of the
oh,
page is an address.
I'm sorry, total, you know what, total with shipping and tax, there is a separate shipping and handling line, and it would be 125,705.
okay, cause this is,
Because
yeah, there's only
we're
one
missing a
page.
sheet right there.
Yeah, I
I
have,
think
you
we're
know what,
missing page 2 and 3,
I didn't
but,
copy all of it, because there's a lot of pages,
Yeah,
but I
this
have
is rate
background on all
charges,
three
and then
quotes if you
there's
folks wanna
nothing.
see it.
yeah, we're missing a page, but,
What was the shipping?
Altogether, the shipping was 1,000, it's shipping and tax, it says, so how
Okay.
much of that's tax?
We don't
wouldn't
pay
the
tax.
I know. It says $1,455 shipping and tax. So I don't know how much of that would be shipping. Actually, I mean,
6% of 22, but,
my best guess is it'd be around $1,500 for the shipping part. Again, because we went and got it,
that's not right, no.
but I don't think.
Okay.
My
Yeah, go ahead.
question is the practical one. Where's the money coming from to pay for this? And is it there? If there's no money, we really can't buy it.
Yeah, Roland indicated to me that there were sufficient funds. He didn't talk about a specific account. It wouldn't be out of the construction project because this was not part of that. But he said he could fund it. But you didn't give me an account, I'm sorry, I don't have that for you.
And if this is the part, a machine that is dated, are the parts going to be difficult to acquire?
I'm just confused by page 2 of that handout.
I think it's
It's a different-
different.
Quote.
There's three different
Different
quotes here,
quotes,
here,
yeah.
you know what?
Okay, but it's 3 from the same company.
Sounds, it look like they're all from the same company.
It's all from Hermance, yeah, they did all the quotes. And here, I have the backup for each of them, there's 3 different
11 of
backups.
19.
Yeah, this
So this
one's
is not the same.
one of 3.
I didn't make
Yeah.
full copies of each
So
packet
is this
because
a
there were
brand
lot of
new
pages,
unit?
but-
Is this what we're looking at?
No, it's
No.
not.
No, we're
No.
not.
78's brand new.
The first page is, if you look down at the very bottom, it says page 1 of 3.
Yeah,
And
So
then
there are continuing
3
pages that we don't
yeah,
have
and then
there.
the
yeah,
other
I
one
have, and I can make copies of those right
There's
now if you wanna do it, I
19
didn't do it because it was just a
No,
lot
I
of
was
paper.
just trying to figure out what I was looking at.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
I just,
So
I
is
just,
the-
I just copied the actual quotes on the prices, and I'm sorry, I didn't explain that better.
No, no,
Should've.
that's okay.
Is the 78,000, a brand
That's-
new, for a brand new one?
That's for the Niederman one, yes,
Fifteen.
that's a brand new one, and I have a backup handout on that, and then there was one from Belfab that's also new, and that's $42,000, $42,805. And those are both new ones. Now, the trouble with those would be they're over the bid limits, this 22, that's the other thing, the 22,000, 22, whatever it is, 22.5 is not over the bid limit. Bid limits are 23,500, so if it was anything over 23,500, we would be required to put it out to bid, which would, which you can certainly do, but there would be obviously some additional time involved in that. The one for 22.5 you could buy just based on comparable quotes, which you have, and you could buy it on that basis.
These other 2 units, these other 2 pages, do they meet that specification of 3,700?
Yeah, all three do. All 3 are either 3,600, I believe, or 3,700.
I mean, cause it doesn't say anything on there what their speed.
Yeah, they tried to give us an apples to apples comparison in terms of that capacity.
What's the cost for installation? I'm guessing it's gonna be Fiore putting it in, right?
Yeah, startup and commissioning and 1 trip is included in the Niederman one, plus the design and project management is included. And on the Belfab quote,
Well, I'm actually talking about the used one that we're looking at on the.
oh, yeah, I don't know what the installation.
It was my understanding that they were looking for a different vendor to install this used one
Yeah,
outside of the project, so that it didn't like encumber the Fiore or whoever the others would be.
right,
And I don't recall I know they talked about pouring a concrete pad, and then I think that our construction guys were going to make the holes in the wall, but then everything after that would be on us to find a contractor to do that work.
So it's on, this urgency is only about the hole in the wall.
Well, I don't really know what else there is besides a hole in the wall. I mean, it would be,
I think there's ductwork,
and
electrical,
there's dark
And
work
that
once you get
pad.
inside.
But they're
the
not
building.
doing that part, they're doing the
No.
hole in the
They-
wall.
no, but those are the things that were on that one email from Mr. Wonderlaw.
so that it would be, did we agree that they were going to do the hookups for all of the machinery in there, not necessarily hook the machinery up? Like plugs and, you know what I mean,
Limited
like that,
knowledge.
electrical outlets
Oh,
and
no.
things
Yeah,
that,
the electrical outlets that part's done, I think, that part is taken care of, it would, but the vent work, I don't believe is included.
I don't think they've done the vent work.
No, vent work is not there now, and it's not included in these.
because they don't know which to do it for, right?
Yeah, it's not, I don't believe it's included in these prices.
Let's do a roll call.
Mr. Bender?
I don't have enough information on it, so I'm gonna say no. You know, and if you do go with the one that you're saying, then it means you're gonna have, we don't know how old it is, plus, you know, where the parts are, you know, if we're gonna have running into problems or stuff like that, so I'd say no on it.
Mrs. Hoover?
It was the recommendation of the project manager and the others involved in the project, so I'm gonna say yes.
Dr. Krug,
No.
Mrs. Krug,
I'm saying no, just because I don't know where the money's coming from that we're using to pay for this. And possibly we could use the one from the high school still.
Mrs. Leib,
I'm gonna say no, because there are too many questions as to how old it is, what our warranty is on it, where the money's coming from, the shipping, there's just too many questions, so no.
Mr. Westrick,
No,
Ms. Zenshaw.
No, and for the reasons of, we don't know how old it is, and, we don't know how much installation will be.
I will attempt to get a more detailed package together for you on these, and we can bring it back into May. That's only a week, that's not gonna be that much more of a substantial delay than we've already got, so. I understand, I respect that decision.
And so they'll give you the year, how old this unit is, we don't know, do you know how old the unit is altogether?
It's not in the quote, and I don't know, no one told me that.
And, you know, how readable is parts, you know, if we have to down the road 2-3 years or something like that, you know, getting parts for it. And even to do the one up at the other school, I don't know how old that one is, but how hard would it be to get parts for that one too?
It's hard, that one is old, I did ask that question.
And now
when
is
we
that
were-
one up there the same as,
No.
made by the same manufacturer?
No,
Okay.
it's not.
Okay, item B, weight room flooring. Be it resolved, the Board of Education discuss and approve the purchase of weight room flooring from, now I put in the cheapest quote. So it's
BCI.
BCI Flooring and Specialist in the amount of $9,390.00.
And Mr. Smith was fine, just FYI, was okay with that quote, that's the one he recommended.
Motion?
Motion by Mr. Jen Zenshaw, second by Mrs. Carol Lee. Okay, questions or comments on this?
On your first one here, you know, the other ones have the dimension of the floor area, but this first one, it doesn't say what your floor area that you're covering. Like the second one says 30 by 68, and the other one says 23 by 23. I mean, what is those measurements and what are the differences between the second page and third page? And the first page has nothing.
the second and third page both say 30 by 68. I couldn't find anything on that first page either.
Yeah.
After talking, after talking to Jeff, they're on the same size. This is for the same size room. It's not a different room.
No, I know
I don't
that,
think they
but
would've given
I was
us-
just looking at the quoting, you know, the quotes, but they don't have a dimension in there. And then from the second to the third page, the dimension went from 3068 to 23 by 23, so I'm not sure why we have a difference in the interlocking
It
there.
says 23 by 23, that must be inch. But if you look right above that column, it says 30 by 68, where it says plans dated, school emailed size of room 30 by 68.
I think when they bid that we would have had to put the size of the room, and they would be bidding on that size. I think that the first bidder just didn't
Okay.
put that
I
in their
think the
quote.
23 by 23 is the size of the tile.
I think you're
I
right.
agree,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, because that's the only way it could be square.
I can certainly verify that with Mr. Smith.
So we're just gonna assume that the first page one, if they put the specs in by 30 by 63 or whatever it is, they all got the same spec then.
And again, this is another one that came out of that construction meeting recommendation, and the reason for that was there's a sense in that group that the sooner you can get that weight room floor installed, the sooner you can move that equipment down from the high school, and that's gonna make the overall move much easier because there's so much labor gonna be involved in that. Also, in talking to Dave Whitmer, he did say that he does still own some work. After that padding is put in, he has to install like a code base, and he can't do that until the flooring's down. So, you know, the sooner we can get that in, the sooner you can get that part of the job. That'll pretty much finish that room up, so. That was why it was advantageous to them as well. I think it was originally gonna be part of the design spec, but there was some, I guess, and I was before me, there was some conversation about who was gonna, you know, there may have been some people were gonna donate for it, I don't know, and then that fell through, so that's why it ended up, but originally, they had bid it, it had been part of the design spec, and then it was pulled out.
I don't think it was.
It could have been, cause that was a change order to knock walls out.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what Dave told me, so, I mean, if I'm wrong, then I apologize.
Yeah, it was never part of the bid.
Okay.
Might have
I'm
been
sorry.
And you're right.
Value engineering cut that we just, or something.
Okay, roll call.
This is for BCI.
This is for BCI, yeah.
Mrs. Hoover,
Yes,
Dr. Crew,
Yes.
Mrs. Crew.
Yes,
Mrs. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Westrick,
Yes,
Ms. Zenshaw,
Yes,
Mr. Bender.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, personnel, additional days for the interim superintendent. Be resolved, the Board of Education discuss and authorize the interim superintendent to work 3 up to blank days per week at a cost of, right now it's $300 per day, so, how many days do you wanna go?
can we have you for 5?
I mean, if I could have 3, 4, with the option of 4.
Oh, I guess they had a motion, Ms. Kevin.
Not without, I'm not gonna motion without a number in there.
Oh, okay, I see, go ahead.
minimum of 3, maximum of 4, that work for you?
I'm good with up to 5, but that's fine.
I feel like up to 5
I
is
say
fine.
5 to
That way it gives us the
It
latitude.
could be at your discretion, I mean, if you don't
Okay,
need
yeah, I
5, then
can-
you don't need
Unless
5.
that doesn't work for you.
That would be
Al.
great, I can do
Well,
that.
I mean, if it's up to, then you have the latitude, and if you don't need it, you
It's
don't take
all the
it.
farther you can go anyway, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be resolved, the Board of Education discuss and authorize the interim superintendent to work 3 up to 5 days per week at a cost of $300 per day. And that is your current interim
Yes.
day, okay. Motion was Carol Lieb, second by Mr. Bob Westrick. Questions or comments on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, be it resolved, the special meeting of the Northern Cambria School Board for April 22nd, 2025 be adjourned at 6:22 PM. I'll make the motion for that.
She's the winner.
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Norman Crook, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?